A clearer picture is emerging tonight of just what was lost to that wildfire in Jasper, Alberta, what's still standing, and how the flames churn through the town. Journalists had a brief tour of the damage. There is still no timeline on when residents can move back. The wildfire danger far from over. Officials warning that fire is still burning near town and no new rain is falling. The destruction in Jasper paints a picture of how firefighters battle to save as many buildings as possible. Sam Sampson went into the town today to trace the fire's path.
Driving in from the east, Jasper seems normal at first, untouched by fire, until it isn't. This church is where fire crews turned flames away, saving 70% of the town, while the rest, shown in red, was destroyed. Firefighters saved what they could and let go of what they couldn't.
I was out as well too, as an extra set of eyes, just looking out from our hotspots, and on my patrol I noticed that the flames had spread to my house. It would have been easy to ask for crews to come in and extinguish, but at that point fire damage was pretty significant. We had multiple structure fires going on in the area, and it was just unsafe for crews to be working in.
A third of the town is destroyed. Only skeletons of buildings are left. Most of the damage is on the southwest side. Firefighters used this street, Mayette Avenue, as a fire break, especially to protect critical infrastructure like the fire hall and the hospital. The air is still pretty unsafe here in Jasper. I'm wearing a mask. They just don't know what kind of chemicals burned and are in the air. A gas station burned way over here behind me. And look just how close the fire came from one side of the street to the other. On the main drag, embers chose what did and did not survive. Crews bulldozed a burning liquor store, subway, and bike shop to save the neighboring businesses. A lot of cleanup still to come. Are residents going to see this when they come back?
My understanding is that some areas will be fenced off. Debris removal is going to take a long time. To make it safe for people to circulate is one thing. I'm not sure, but I imagine if this is fenced off, people might see that, indeed.
But residents won't return anytime soon. While crews have extinguished hot spots in Jasper, the fire is still burning on the north, south, and east sides of town. Parks Canada says they still have to do a thorough damage check on campgrounds, trails, and park infrastructure. Their largest campground, Whistler, is partly damaged, but mostly intact.
The difficulty has been, first of all, just the wildfire itself and the resources required to deal with the wildfire, and then also smoke, and then now what's making it a bit difficult is just the number of downed trees. So our priority has been to open up some of the roads to places like Marmot Basin, Whistler Skytram, the Parkway.
Smoke still pours from the Rockies, but they survived, still standing guard in one of Canada's most beloved national parks.
Sam, I'm curious about your impressions as you had that brief tour.
Well, to me, it really stood out just how erratic fire can be and how in the moment firefighters really do have to use whatever they can as a fire break. And also when you're standing there and you see one side of the street completely decimated and then the other one still looks like a postcard is really jarring. And of course, as someone who's been a tourist there a couple of times, like so many other Canadians, it's really natural for those memories to come back. You know, I had my photo taken here, I had lunch here, and to see some of those places completely burned to the ground is really disturbing. And so I cannot imagine what people who live there and who grew up there are going through and what they will go through when they see it for themselves.
Sam Sampson in Hinton, Alberta tonight. A few of the Jasper residents who fled that fire are now staying in Hinton, a community that's rallying to help. Karen Paul shows us how strangers are stepping up to comfort them and reconnect families.
Those are hot, Dana.
At the Hinton Legion, it's not just brunch being dished up, but understanding.
Don't touch, buddies.
Former fire evacuees from Slave Lake donated meat, groceries, and money to help feed Jasper evacuees, firefighters, and first responders. Help from those who know what this moment is like.
Where you're in limbo, where you don't know if your house has been destroyed or if it's still standing or if you can go back. They said this is the hardest time.
Get some fruit. Fruit's always good.
It's fuel and comfort for these longtime Jasper residents. They believe their apartment is still standing, but don't know when they'll be able to go home.
I mean, I think it's still part of being Canadian, you know? We help each other out when we need to, right?
Hey, kitty.
Meanwhile, across town, a different kind of comfort.
Yeah, you're safe. Yes, you are.
The SPCA is caring for pets whose families couldn't get them out earlier. Some couldn't find them in the chaos. Others weren't home when the evacuation was ordered.
Jasper bylaw, the night of the fire, phoned us and said, we are coming into town with a bird, a dog, and 3 cats. Can you help us? We said, absolutely.
Calls are rolling in from anxious pet owners desperate for help.
I'm hearing people are like, that my house is gone. Is my cat there? Or my friends were taking care of my lizard. Is it there? The house is gone.
What is it like for you as someone who works and volunteers here?
Sorry. It's hard. It's really hard. It's heartbreaking.
The Alberta SPCA is helping to feed those pets already here. As more continue to arrive, this time it's 8 cats and a lovebird.
They have been singing to me all day, haven't you?
As volunteers do the paperwork, anxious cats peer out of their crates or retreat into safety.
Are you guys going back tomorrow?
I think so.
Because there are more pets to rescue, more families to reunite. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Hinton, Alberta.